Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, it is January of 2023. Today I am filming a What's in My Bag video. I have been filming What's in My Bag videos for well over a decade. I think the first time I really started doing these was 2009. I went through my college bag at the time, but it became a thing in the 2010s. Now the last time I did one of these was the end of 2020, which was a long time ago. So here we are today, more than 2 years later, filming the next installment with the same bag. I have had this bag nearly 4 years and I love it. I love it so much. I associate this bag primarily with working in London. It is my commuter bag, but it feels more than that. As my previous videos will showcase, in addition to this one, I carry my life in this bag. I might not need to, but I do. So for the last 2 years, away from the internet, I have been a webinar producer for a big company in London. I primarily work at home, but there are London days. Increasingly so. There was a long time where I just worked from home. My work day is longer than other jobs I've done, so when I do go to London, it is a bit of a trek. So my commute is about 2.5 to 3 hours long, it depends. And for me personally, and this is not just for this job that I'm presently on, but for every job I've done where I've had to commute, I find it overwhelming commuting. The overstimulation with people, noise, smells, the amount of people, whether or not the pandemic exists or not, I've always struggled, but also my reaction to fluids. And this is where my younger self would talk about the topic of my fluid phobia, which I no longer call my fluid phobia. I talk about it for what it is. Difficulty is associated with being neurodivergent. So I'm overstimulated by smells, liquids, I can't stand bodily fluids. So first of all, I bring a change of clothes. I commute to work in different clothes that I end up wearing. I often bring a pair of shoes because I can't commute in fancy shoes. I have to wear my walking boots. So they're often rammed in the top. So this space is usually consumed. In addition to bringing clothes with me, I also carry, this is where I start taking things out so I can get to stuff that I want to talk about, body wash, deodorant. This is a cream deodorant, not a spray. It's more eco-friendly. When I get to work, I go to the loos and I take everything off. I have a quick wash, so I get myself ready. I look presentable for work. I put on my jewellery and my perfume. The perfume I'm wearing at the moment is C. I actually do the majority of my makeup before I leave the flat, but sometimes I might carry the odd piece of makeup to then top it up when I get to work. But I try not to carry makeup with me because it's just more weight in the bag. I have a spare canvas bag. At the moment I have this owl bag. When we go out at lunchtime, I put my lunch in this, or if I end up accumulating more stuff, I use it as a backup. When I get to London, the first thing I do is I pop to Sainsbury's and I buy a croissant. It's like a treat. I don't have a croissant every day. The croissant goes into my bag and eventually my tummy. I have a toothbrush and toothpaste somewhere. Hand sanitizer, mints, hairbrush number 1, hairbrush number 2. I do need hairbrushes nowadays, and lately I've been struggling with static hair. I'm also having a static hair day, which is annoying me. The hairband I'm wearing is one of the hairbands I wear at work, but I also commute wearing this. This is my comfort hairband. I've been wearing this for about 4-5 years. It's falling apart, it's rusty in some places, but it's comfortable. It's rare to find a hairband that isn't irritable, and I can wear all my glasses with it. So during the workday, this then goes back in there and I put this on. I have so many packets of tissues. Tissues in my coat pockets, my trouser pockets. We have my work badge that I carry with me. A mask. Now I do wear a mask on London's Underground. I don't feel safe on the Underground. This is a mask from a job I had a couple of years ago and it's still going strong. It feels rarer to see people wearing masks nowadays. I have hand cream from the Body Shop. Toe warmers. I get chilblains in my ears, my fingers and my toes. I have done for about 16 years. So things like this help. They're great when kayaking as well, actually. This is my work hard drive. Bottle number 1. This is a bottle from Aladdin. I don't particularly like the colour, but it was the only one I could get my hands on when mine broke last year. I love the lid. I just love taking the lid on and off. I like the feeling of drinking from it. It's simple, there's no fiddly bits, there's no room for mould. It's a nice feeling. And it doesn't leak. which is fantastic. The amount of flasks I've had, both for coffee and water, that leak, this one is just perfect. Bravo, Aladdin. I have a notebook. I go through lots of these, so this is one of many. Somewhere I have a pen. There we go. Phone charger. Pads. I've gone off menstrual cups the last 3 years. Not so much because I've gone off the product. I think the product's great. It's that I just can't use them. Physically can't get them in, physically can't get them out. So I've reverted back to pads, and rarely, and not always successfully, tampons for kayaking. We have my old Kindle. This one I've had for about 6 years, and I have just replaced it, but I haven't got a cover for it yet, so I'm still carrying the old one because I want to protect the new one. More tissues. We have the second flask. This bottle has been fantastic. The size of it, the shape of it, fits in so many bags. It's a bit battered, dented, but it hasn't shattered. Then in the front pocket, I have my coffee flask. I have become a coffee fiend the last year or so. I was introduced to a coffee machine with pods, and I've never looked back. Every morning I have a Starbucks blonde coffee with a shot of vanilla syrup. So on my London days, I have that in here, carry it with me. This flask has been on some adventures. It's been quite durable. I've dropped it a couple of times. There's a few dents. I just like the way that you drink from it. It feels quite smooth. I used to carry a flask that had like a cup with it that you'd pour the coffee into, and it would just be a mess. Whereas this is just perfect. I just take the lid off, sip, woohoo, we're good. Also, it's pink. I wish all of this was pink. Then we get on to migraines. I have not been as open about my migraines the last couple of years because of how bad they've been. There are points where it feels like I don't have a life because I am dealing with so many migraines, and it's not just the migraine, and they are powerful and painful in themselves. It's the run-up and the aftermath, and some people call it a post-drome. You just lose so much time to being unwell and not being yourself and not being able to have the life that you want to have or try to have because you are processing all that pain. In 2022, I had more than 80 migraines. By the time we got to 2023, I just wasn't living. I'm saying all of this because this has been a huge part of my life, but also because it's contributed to what I've needed to carry with me or what I've needed to have with me at any time. For the last 2.5 years, wherever I have been carrying sumatriptan with me. It's a nasal spray medication. When I know that I'm having a migraine, I take this out the packet, I shove it up my nose. Within half an hour, it tends to bring it down slightly, not always. At the start of 2023, I switched from propranolol and sumatriptan to just amitriptyline. So the last few weeks have been a bit unsteady. I can't have sumatriptan and amitriptyline at the same time, so now I'm not carrying that. But that has been with me for 2.5 years. I didn't realise how dark it would get so fast, so I'm just going to turn a light on. I'm racing against the light. Come on, Rebecca. Other things I do to look after myself with migraines. Well, I often carry sunglasses. I use forehead cream. It's like Tiger Balm, but the fragrance is much calmer. I carry Cool and Soothe forehead strips. This is one I was using earlier this week that I have kept for an example. You put it on your forehead, it sticks. It's like wearing a cold compress. It's not perfect, but when you are a few hundred miles from home, perhaps, it's something. Other things I do. I carry mint oils with me. This is one from This Works that I will put there. I will go and find it. And the Menthol Breathe from Tisserand, but I have so many oils from Tisserand. Strepsils. Now normally I cut these down, but I've been through quite a lot recently because tonsillitis. So yeah, I'm carrying the whole packet for now. I carry lip balms. Usually I have 2 or 3 on me. My favourite one is actually in my car, and I always seem to never have it on me when I do these videos, but it is the First Aid Beauty Lip Balm. One day I will have this in my hands at the right time. It's perfect. But other lip balms I have are the 8 Hour lip balm from Elizabeth Arden. I have a lipstick version of that. It looks a bit posher in the workplace. My go-to everyday lipstick is Mocha from MAC. It's a warm sort of brown, but it can look different on YouTube from experience. Sometimes it looks red, but that is my go-to. I'm not wearing it now. Body lotion. This is the Aveeno cream that I've just put in a smaller pot. Another lip balm. This is Dr. Lips Superfood Elderberry Lip Tint. It's more like a gloss. It's not a tint, not at all, but I like it. My headphones. I carry 2 sets of headphones with me. The first are my AirPods. These are the AirPods Pro, and When I started using these for the first time, they were life-changing. Over the years, it feels like hundreds of people have recommended to me noise or ear defenders, and I've said no. Why? Because I personally find noise cancelling on its own stressful, because I can hear the blood pumping around my head, I can hear my heartbeat, I can hear my breathing, I find my teeth difficult to deal with, I can feel my teeth, I'm distracted by them constantly, so suddenly I'm aware of all the noises within my mouth, like, but, bear with me. The reason why these are amazing, life-changing, is because it's a combination. So I can have the noise cancelling and I can have music. I usually can only wear them for about an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time because they hurt my ears too much after a while. So they're not good for long chunks, but they are there when I need them. And they are so helpful, like painting and gaming with these. It's amazing. The other pair of headphones I have are these that I've had for about 6 years. They're from Marley. The Bluetooth on them no longer works, and because of the phone that I have the iPhone 13 from 2021. I have to have an adapter, which I also have to carry to plug these into the phone, which I've lost. We're nearly there, we're nearly there. In the bottom of my bag, I carry my umbrella. It is the perfect pocket for it. It's like it was designed for an umbrella or a flask. I've sort of forgotten to mention what pockets I got things out of, but everything's just rammed in somewhere. I have a plastic tie. Usually I have one around my wrist, but I always carry a backup because they break. I have a small ticket holder purse that I have had for 7 years. I carry the basics in this. I don't like having a big purse, not only because my purse was stolen, but I feel nervous carrying tons of cards. I keep it simplistic. So I have my driver's license, my credit card is behind that. I do have a debit card that I don't always carry with me. Strepsils. I have a hairbrush from Go Comb. When my hair was shorter, that was a perfect thing to carry, but nowadays I do need something a bit bigger. I forgot to mention I also use Apple Pay now, which I didn't have the last time I did one of these, so I don't need to carry my cards. And I have a towel. This is one of many towels I carry. I've turned on another light now, so the colour grading will go out the window at this point. We have my set of keys on a lanyard. I have my car key, a keyring that I've had for a decade. I put it in the washing machine actually, and it came out as good as new. Wasn't expecting that. Flat keys, postbox key, another towel. If I double tap this and my phone is not an aeroplane, my phone should ring. Thank you very much. I am constantly ringing my towels. I've drained several towel batteries now at this point. I usually carry paracetamol with me. Paracetamol doesn't do anything for my migraines, but it is handy to have. I usually have bobby pins as well. Sometimes I carry thumbstones like this. It's just a gemstone that's been carved with a concave edge that you can rub your thumb on. In the winter, of course, I wear a hat, gloves, scarf, and leg warmers. I love leg warmers. So during the day, I put that stuff in my bag or around my desk area. In the job I do, we hotspot, so I don't have a desk that I continuously go back to. So that's another reason why I carry so much stuff with me to and from, because I don't have anywhere to put it when I get there. I carry a lot. I carry too much stuff. I know I carry too much stuff. It's something I'm continuously trying to work on, trying to leave the house with less stuff, and also trying to leave the house in one go, because for me, sometimes it can take about 5 attempts to actually leave the property successfully. And there's still more stuff to add to this. This isn't everything. This is just everything that I could think of. Obviously in the morning, I will be adding stuff to this pile. That's just an insight into my brain and what I carry. Filming this has been rather adventurous because I feel like I've been chasing the light. But anyway, this has been a rough guide as to what I carry when I work in London. And with that, my cat and I will say goodnight. Good night, everyone. She really did. There she is. Good night. See you soon.